Wait, she told the waiter not for her? Coincidence or plan? And who was filming?
The waiter didn't ignore my daughter by accident. He saw her, paused, then chose to skip her. And no one said a word. Not my mother, not my sister, not even my father. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for updates. We were all sitting there at a long, polished table, soft lights above us, quiet conversations around us. And somehow, in the middle of all that noise, my 5-year-old became invisible. Her name is Amara. And in that moment, she sat perfectly still beside me, her small hands folded neatly in her lap, like she had practiced how to behave, how to be accepted. The waiter took my order, then my mother's, then my sister Claire's, then my father's. He even smiled. But when his eyes landed on Amara, my mother leaned slightly forward and said, calm and firm, not for her. Just like that. Not a suggestion. Not a question. A decision. And the waiter, he didn't question it. He nodded and moved on. Like she didn't exist. Like she wasn't sitting right there. And that's when Amara leaned into me, her voice small, careful. Mom, did I do something wrong? Let me ask you something. What do you say to a child in that moment? Do you correct it? Do you fight it? Do you protect them immediately? Or do you stay quiet? Because I didn't say anything. I didn't correct my mother. I didn't call the waiter back. I didn't fix it. I just watched, and I know how that sounds. But you need to understand something. This wasn't new. This wasn't a mistake. This was a pattern. A quiet, consistent, deliberate pattern that had been building for 5 years. And that night, I stopped interrupting it because for the first time, I needed to see how far they would go, how comfortable they had become, how much they thought they could get away with. And what they didn't realize was that something had already shifted. Because the next morning, my mother, Diane Lyons, picked up her phone and her hands started shaking. Not because she didn't know what she did, but because now everyone else knew too. This didn't start at that dinner. It started the day Amara was born. And if I'm being honest, I think my family had already decided who she was before they ever met her. Her father, Daniel Okoye, is Nigerian. Kind, present, loving. But to my family, that was the problem. No one said it directly. They never used words you could point at. No slurs, no arguments, no dramatic confrontations, just distance. Cold, quiet distance. At first, I told myself it was just adjustment, new situation, new dynamics. Maybe they just needed time, but time didn't fix it. It revealed it because slowly things started happening that didn't make sense. My mother, Diane, would introduce me in public. This is my daughter, Naomi. And stop there. No mention of Amara, even when she was standing right next to me, smiling, waiting. My sister Claire, 26, always online, always posting, would upload family photos after events. Dinner nights, birthdays, gatherings. And every time, Amara was missing, not absent, cropped, carefully, deliberately, like she had never been there. At first, I confronted it. Why isn't she in the picture? Claire would laugh it off. Oh, it just didn't come out right. Every time, same excuse. Different photo, then came the invitations, or the lack of them. family dinners where I'd get a message, just come alone this time. Adults only. Keep it simple. And I believed them. Until I saw the pictures later. Other children, other nieces, smiling at the same table my daughter wasn't allowed to sit at. That's when it stopped being subtle. That's when it became intentional. But the worst part wasn't private. It was public. Because in public, they didn't just exclude her. They ignored her. She would speak, "Hi, Grandma," and my mother would continue her conversation like nothing was said. Claire would walk right past her. My father would glance, then look away, like she wasn't real, like she didn't exist. And every single time I stepped in, Amara said hello. She asked you something. She's right here. I kept forcing them to acknowledge her over and over again until one day I stopped. Not because I agreed, not because I accepted it, but because I was watching, tracking, waiting, because patterns don't lie. And that dinner, it wasn't the first time they crossed a line. It was just the first time I let them. And what they did next proved exactly how far they were willing to go. The moment the waiter skipped her, everything became undeniable. No more excuses. No more, maybe I'm overthinking. This wasn't subtle anymore. This was deliberate. My mother didn't hesitate, didn't even look at me. Not for her. Calm, controlled, certain. Like Amara didn't need food. Like she didn't deserve a seat at the same table. And here's the part that hit hardest. No one reacted. Not my father. Not my sister. Not even the waiter. He just nodded and moved on. Let me ask you something. How many times does something have to happen before you stop calling it a mistake? Because in that moment, I knew exactly what this was. And I made a decision, not loud, not dramatic, quiet. I reached for my phone under the table, unlocked it, and pressed record. No warning, no announcement, just evidence. I captured everything. The silence, the way Amara sat there pretending she wasn't hungry, the way she kept looking down, like if she stayed small enough, it wouldn't hurt as much. The way my family continued eating, laughing, talking, like nothing was wrong. Like this was normal. I didn't post it. I didn't confront anyone. I didn't even watch it back. I just kept it because for the first time, I wasn't trying to fix anything. I was trying to understand it. And what none of them realized was that I wasn't the only one watching. Because across the room, someone else had already noticed. Someone who didn't know us, didn't owe us silence. And by the time we left that restaurant that night, the truth had already started moving. We just didn't know it yet. But by morning, everything would be different because the story wasn't mine to control anymore. My mother doesn't panic easily. She's the type who controls every room she walks into, every conversation, every impression. But that morning, I heard something I had never heard before. Her voice breaking. "Naomi, what is this?" I was already awake. In the kitchen. Amara sitting beside me, quietly eating the breakfast I made her because unlike the night before, she wasn't going to be skipped again. I walked into the living room slowly, and that's when I saw it. My mother, Diane Lyons, standing there frozen, her phone held tightly in both hands like it might slip away. Her face? Drained, confused, angry, afraid. "All of this," she said, her voice shaking now. "Why is this everywhere?" She turned the screen toward me, and there it was. The dinner, but not my recording. This angle was different. wider, clearer, worse. You could see everything. The waiter pausing at Amara. My mother leaning in, not for her. The silence that followed, and then the moment that made my chest tighten all over again, Amara looking up at me, whispering, "Did I do something wrong?" That part was everywhere. Clipped, zoomed, shared, thousands of comments. People asking the same question. How do you ignore a child like that? Why didn't anyone stop it? Who are these people? And then it got worse because people started recognizing them. My mother listed publicly as a board member for a children's charity. My sister Claire, an elementary school teacher. My father, well known in our community. Names connected. Profiles found, reputations pulled into the light. And just like that, the silence they had hidden behind for 5 years was gone. Phones started ringing, messages flooding in, notifications stacking faster than they could read them. My mother's hands trembled as she scrolled. My sister locked herself in her room. My father kept saying, "This will pass, this will pass." But even he didn't sound convinced, because for the first time, they weren't in control of the narrative anymore. They couldn't ignore it. They couldn't redirect it. They couldn't pretend it didn't exist, not when the entire world was watching. And as I stood there looking at that screen, I realized something. This wasn't the consequence. Not yet. This was just the beginning. I didn't post the video. That's the first thing you need to understand. I didn't leak it. I didn't send it to anyone. The person who did was a woman sitting 2 tables behind us. She reached out to me later, said she noticed everything from the moment we sat down, said she kept waiting, hoping someone would step in. And when no one did, she pressed record, then she posted it. Because in her words, no child should ever feel invisible like that. Logical payoff. There was no misunderstanding, no missing context. No, it looked worse than it was. That video showed exactly what happened. And for once, there was nowhere for my family to hide. Emotional payoff. My mother tried to talk to me, tried to explain, tried to soften it. We didn't mean it like that. But I didn't argue. Didn't raise my voice. Didn't defend. I just looked at Amara. And for the first time in a long time, she wasn't confused. She wasn't asking if she did something wrong. She understood. It was never her. And that mattered more than anything they could say. Consequence payoff. Within a week, everything shifted. My mother was quietly removed from the charity board. No announcement, just gone. My sister was placed on administrative leave pending review by the school. Parents had seen the video and they weren't comfortable. My father, the calls stopped. The invitations disappeared. The respect he built over years, it faded almost overnight because people saw them clearly now. The same way my daughter had always seen them. Final resolution moment. I didn't go back. I didn't try to fix anything because some damage isn't meant to be repaired. I chose my daughter and we built something new, a life where she doesn't have to earn her place, where she isn't questioned, where she is seen every time completely. And that silence they used to hide behind, it doesn't follow us anymore. Because now she knows exactly who she is. And she'll never be invisible again.
If they erase a child this easily, then what else were they hiding from everyone?